Happy February! My name is Megan. I'm an ESL teacher in southern China and I am obsessed with goals. So I wanted to start a series on my channel a la Carter Sullivan, all the other people who do monthly resets, because I am very focused on what I want to do this year and what I want to accomplish this year and filling my life with beautiful, happy memories, and setting goals can help me do that. So, welcome to the very first monthly reset. I have my computer with my Notion template all pulled up. I also have my bullet journal because I record a lot of things in there. I was going to get myself a nice little coffee, and then I thought to myself, Megan, too much of your hydration comes from the water that is inside coffee, and instead maybe you should just drink some water. And my water bottle is very on theme for February and love and red and happiness. To be honest though, I don't really love February. It's probably my least favorite month. I love January so much. New Year's is my favorite holiday, and I just feel like after the high of December and January, February is a little bit of like the waiting spot before things pick up again in March when classes resume and spring comes again. But before we get into February, I've already digressed. Let's look at January. You might already be able to tell I'm a little bit of a chatty person. This is not a 8-minute in and out kind of reset. I like to talk. And I especially like to talk about goals. And I want to say before I go into January that this has been maybe the best January New Year goals setting I think I've ever had. And I was really reflecting on why January turned out so well. And I think it comes from two things. One, I think it's a buildup of the past few years, because in January of 2020, that's when we went into lockdown in China. January of 2021, we were still doing zero COVID prevention policies. And then in January of 2022, we were definitely in lockdown. And by January of 2023, we were hearing rumors that the zero COVID prevention policies would be over, but we didn't know what that meant or what that looked like. So I felt like I stepped out into the world with trepidation. In 2022, I literally only had one goal, and it didn't get accomplished because of lockdowns. So I just feel like I've been building up my good juju, my good karma for the past few years. And honestly, I've realized what a privilege it is to be able to know what I want and go after it after 3.5 years of COVID prevention policies. So I hope this video can be a little bit inspiring, that you can see how I work through my goals and work through my methods, review how things went. You can see a little bit about what life is like in China maybe, but I hope it's not discouraging, because I've had many slow starts to the year, and I've also had many bad starts to the year. And just because January was a month where I was really able to focus in on my goals doesn't mean that February is going to be that way either. So just take things as they come, do the best you can with the circumstances that you have been given. So that's one reason why I think I was able to really go hard on my January goals, is because I've been building for a while. I also think it's because I've learned a little bit more about myself, and I felt like I was setting very realistic goals. And I think that helped a lot. It's very easy to set lofty, ridiculous, new year, new me goals that don't actually align with you or that are just not realistic. So let me tell you how we're going to do the video. First, I want to review my January in general. So I want to talk about some highlights, some things I learned, some things I'm proud of, focus on the wins of January. Then I want to look at my goals and see how I did on my January goals, then move into February and kind of set some intentions and set some goals for February. So let's dive in. In my bullet journal is where I have all of my reflections over the month. In my bullet journal is where I put all of my reflections. So I'm going to do that right now. I'm going to ask myself a couple of questions. I'm also going to write down the highlights of January, and then when I finish writing this, I'll get back with you and share some of them with you. Okay, we are back. If you want to do these too, you can definitely. A lot of these questions are from Lavender's Artist of Life workbook, which I'll leave linked down below just to give her credit for this. January in one word was motivating. I just felt such high energy, such motivation. I was so excited about all the things that I was doing and all the things that were happening. It was just very high vibes, very motivating. The next thing that Lavender has is the steps you took to get closer to your dream life, and you can rate it on a scale of 1 to 10. And I'm not gonna lie, I felt a little bit emotional because for the past few years, I've been asking myself this question each month, and the numbers have been a little bit lower because of extenuating circumstances. And I feel like I was able to circle 10 this month because I really felt like I took steps to get closer. This question doesn't mean like, how amazing are you? Or how much did you accomplish? But it's just like, are you going in the right direction? And I feel very confidently that I'm moving in the right direction. I set up a lot of good systems and a lot of good habits. A couple of highlights for January. January was really fun. I wrote down that I felt very motivated. I exercised every single day of January, which was really great for me because I want to work out for my mental health. I am a teacher and I'm also getting my PhD, and I've just started content creation, which means I am sitting for 1,000 hours a day. And I really wanted to have a chance where I could move my body every single day to combat all of the sitting I'm gonna be doing. But also working out for my mental health has really helped. And I feel like I had such high energy because I worked out every single day. I'm also really proud of myself for sticking to that, like having that discipline. This month was also just very chill. My husband's cousin came and stayed with us for a week. We saw my husband's parents for a couple of weekends. I got to see a lot of friends that I hadn't seen, you know, because the holidays were so busy. I really enjoyed that. I explored a couple of new places because we started the winter holiday. That was really fun to just go out and about in Shenzhen. I spent a day in Hong Kong just by myself, which was so fun. I really enjoyed that. I also did a lot of work on our wedding. Now, we are actually married, but because of COVID, we haven't had the chance to have our American ceremony yet. So I did a lot of invitations and did a lot of research for that. I read 10 books this month, which is insane because I usually set a goal to read 4 books a month, and I just was really whipping through. I don't think I've ever read that many books before. A lot of them were short, but I'll put them on the screen. If you're interested in books, I can talk about more of that in a future video or in other monthly resets, but definitely was excited about that. And I did a little bit more cooking this month too, and I actually enjoyed it. That's the difference. So those were some of the highlights. I also wanted to write some of the difficulties as well, some things that I struggled with. And the things that I really struggled with were mostly just logistics of things. I had to pay my tuition, but they changed my tuition schedule, and it was just a little bit of a hassle figuring out how to get money to America to pay for the tuition. My PhD schedule. Number one, what did I learn this month? I learned that I can do things. Like, I can work out every day and keep up with other parts of my life, but I just need to schedule set working times, and more specifically, I need to know exactly what I'm doing in those set working times. The times that I have felt unproductive or frustrated, not saying that you have to be productive 24/7, but the times when I have felt like I need to do things, I'm behind, I'm not being productive, I'm frustrated, is when I didn't know specifically what I was going to work on that day or during that work session. So I need to do that. Number two, what am I proud of? I'm really proud of keeping the promises that I made to myself. I said I wanted to post consistently on YouTube, and I did. I wanted to work out every day, and I did. I wanted to read 4 books, and I did. I was doing all of these things really consistently. And how can I improve things moving forward? I need to continue solidifying these habits that I've started and not fall off as the month goes on. And I also need to balance rest time. I was very productive, very high energy, but I know that the level of productivity I had this month is probably not sustainable. It's definitely not sustainable. So I want to learn how to balance a little bit more rest time in February, which I think will work out with my schedule as well. So let's go to January goals and see how I did. I divide my goals into different sections. So let's look through each of them. Okay, so for my productive goals, I wanted to have fun in the new year, and I would definitely say I did. I did a lot of spontaneous exploring, and I definitely had fun. I wanted to read 4 books, definitely did that. I wanted to restart my skincare routine. I didn't really do that. I wanted to do a nightly tidy before bed, and I did a pretty good job on this. I want to definitely improve. I needed to buy a new phone case for like 2 months, and I kept putting it off. So I finally did that. And I really generally wanted to schedule my work times, and I did. I basically have had a different focus for every single day. So, you know, maybe Monday is PhD, Tuesday is filming, Wednesday is editing, things like that. Personal and explore goals. I wanted to go to Hong Kong for 1 day, and I definitely did that. I wanted to visit 1 new cafe, and I definitely did that. I found a beautiful cafe. I'm absolutely in love with it. I wanted to listen to a new artist or a new album. I definitely did that. I've been listening to Renee Rapp's new one, which is really fun. I wanted to cook 2 new recipes. Definitely did that. Play piano. Didn't do that once. I wanted to see my friend Allison during the break, but just due to scheduling, our schedules just didn't work out. She's doing a lot of traveling, so I'm gonna see her next month. See friends Emma and Jason, yes. Keep in touch on Marco Polo. Marco Polo is this great app where you can just send video messages back and forth. So that's what I use to keep in touch with a lot of friends. For Atlas teaching goals, I have goals for my website, atlasteaching.com, and then I also have goals for YouTube. I am taking an SEO course on HubSpot for free, and I wanted to finish that. I didn't. I wanted to publish 4 blog posts. I definitely did that. I wanted to schedule 4 posts for February. I did not do that. Get Google Ads set up again. I did not do that. Contact Squarespace, did not do that. Get 600 page views. Now this was definitely a stretch goal, and halfway through the month I realized I should probably write 500, and I got 500. So I was a little bit unrealistic with this one, but that's fine. I wanted to treat Atlas teaching like my full-time job, and I think I did a good job of that this year. I wanted to learn about pinning on Pinterest and start pinning on Pinterest, and I did not do that. So, okay. Atlas teaching YouTube goals. I definitely focused on YouTube this month, which has been really fun. This has been much more fun than I ever expected it would be. So my Atlas teaching YouTube goals were to sign up for Ko-Fi, which I actually did. This is a way that anyone can send a coffee to a creator, and I have it linked in my description. So I'm not monetized, I'm not making any money from this. This is just something I want to do to document my life, but also to help people who are thinking about becoming ESL teachers, EFL teachers, and are not sure where to start, or people who are teachers and just need a little bit of inspiration. If you want to ever send a coffee, you don't have to, but it's in the link. I wanted to finish my content calendar for Q1, and I did. I wanted to post more videos, definitely did that. I wanted to get 75 subscribers. I can't believe we did that. There are 75 subscribers. Thank you so much. I'm so excited to, I know it's small, but I'm so excited to grow this community a little bit more, because that's what I wanted so badly when I first became an EFL teacher. I was dying for some type of community, someone I could go to for advice, or someone I could go to for encouragement or inspiration. And I love teaching because it's rewarding, but I also feel like if I could somehow help other teachers, that would just be the most rewarding thing. Buy a new camera? Yes. have big YouTuber energy. Now, this one might not make sense, but I just basically wanted to pursue YouTube with confidence rather than feeling like, oh, I don't know how to do this. Oh, I'm not sure how to edit. Oh, I'm not sure how to do all this. To just have fun with it and just approach it with confidence rather than with insecurity or fear or anything like that. I wanted to write out a template for YouTube descriptions. I definitely did. I wanted to buy a camera case. Did that. Buy a tripod for filming. I did. This is my first time using the new tripod, and I wanted to make a new intro and end screen. I definitely did that. So in February, I think I could focus more on website because I definitely focused on YouTube. Health goals. I wanted to do one workout a day, and I definitely did that. I wanted to drink 3 bottles of water daily, and by that I meant like mine. I definitely didn't do that. We're working on it. I wanted to avoid processed snacks, and I definitely did that. Cook twice a week. Maybe not twice a week, but maybe once a week, which is better than nothing. For my wedding goals, I wanted to send out invitations for the Chinese attendants and then also for the American attendants, and I did that. I wanted to start looking at some hotel selections. I did that, and I wanted to research some things to do in the area, and I also did that. There's definitely more work to be done, but hey, we got the ball rolling. For my PhD, I wanted to pay my tuition. I did that. I wanted to start off my classes strong. Sure, okay. I wanted to super batch, and by super batching, I mean really batch my work in a very strategic way, rather than just saying, oh, put all the PhD work together. I wanted to fully separate it, to do all of the reading together, then do all of the writing together, and really consider, am I doing input? Am I doing output? And I don't think I did this. I don't think I was intentional about doing this, but I was definitely intentional about scheduling my time. That was okay. I needed to buy textbooks and copy out syllabi and figure out downloading a software, and I did all of that. That's okay. And then financial goals, I wanted to budget the month, figure out social insurance, figure out tax refund, pay rent, and prepare for tuition. I did not figure out my social insurance or figure out the tax refund because I think I have to wait until the spring to work on those. That's fine. And then for my work goals, I wanted to submit my grades and finish grading, and I did. And I did it in record time too, because I had to, because they called me and they were like, you have to submit your grades now. So that went well. Okay, let's go to February. Okay, so for summer goals, I want to start looking for summer flights. I am gonna go home this summer, and I need to start looking at tickets and be aware of that. So hopefully I can nab a really good deal. I do want to reorganize my clothes and unpack the final boxes. We have 2 more boxes. We just moved, and so I just want to finish all of that. I want to continue my nightly tidying routine. It sounds so cheesy and so simple and so infantile, but it's actually been so helpful to just like tidy up the house before you go to bed. And when you wake up in the morning, everything's a little bit nicer. I mean, I'm not spending an hour doing this, but just like 10 minutes, it makes a difference. Who would have thought? I want to treat Atlas teaching like my full-time job before my work starts again. I do also want to continue scheduling my work times. So this day is for PhD or this afternoon is for PhD, having like deep work chunks of time. I want to have one day where I look for recipes online. In January, I learned that I flounder when I don't know exactly what I'm doing. And so when it comes to cooking more, I think, oh, I don't know what to cook. Oh, I don't know what ingredients I have. And if I have a collection of recipes that I can try, just hopefully having this collection of recipes will make it much easier for me to just grab a recipe and just cook it rather than having to debate what to do. We need to buy tickets for Spring Festival. We already have our train ticket to my husband's hometown, but we need to buy the tickets back to Shenzhen. And then I need to make a packing list and pack for Spring Festival. Just make sure I have everything that I need. For personal and explore goals, I wanted to have fun in January, and in February, I want to enjoy the luxury of rest during the holiday. I am an EFL teacher in China at a university, so I have another 3 weeks of break, and I want to just enjoy that rest time before life gets crazy again. I want to read 4 books. I would like to have Emma and Jason over. If we can't have them over to our house, I just want to see them. I want to see my friends Mike and Jonathan. My friend Jonathan is going to be moving to Germany, so I definitely want to see him a couple times before he leaves. The Argyle movie is coming out and it actually is going to be released in China, so I think it'd be fun to go see that. I do want to visit my friend Allison. I want to go to Hong Kong one day. I want to go to the flower market with a couple of friends. There's a flower market every year in Shenzhen before the Spring Festival, so I want to go to that. I want to paint the pottery that I made this week, and I want to restart my skincare routine. For wedding goals, the wedding is getting close. We are basically waiting on my husband's parents' visas. If their visas get approved, then it's go time. Then we are planning the wedding. If their visas don't get approved, then we have to consider a few more things. So I'm not sure how much work I'm going to do on the wedding this month. It all depends on the visas, but I want to keep researching things to do. I want to consider what I want things to look like. Once we hear about the visas, I need to update all the guests and tell them if the wedding is actually happening or not. Narrow down some of the hotel choices, decide how long we're going to stay. It's going to be a destination wedding. So how much time can we get off of work? Start looking at flight tickets and perhaps decide the ceremony and reception sites. For my health goals, I want to continue working out once each day, except for Spring Festival. During the Spring Festival, I probably won't be able to exercise, which is fine. But when I have the option of exercising, I definitely want to do that. I want to start strength training. Last month, I really set the goal of finding some workouts that I enjoyed, and I did. I found some HIIT workouts I absolutely love, and I want to do the same with strength training. I'm kind of interested, I'm kind of curious, and I want to try it out. These next two goals are in tandem. I want to avoid all the other fun fancy drinks of the world like juice and tea and coffee and all of that, and instead I really want to focus on drinking more water. I want to avoid processed snacks. I know they're not healthy, also kind of a waste of money, and with the wedding coming up, we're just trying to save money when we can. And I also want to build a cooking habit. I don't have to cook every day because I want to be realistic, but build a habit a little bit better. Financial goals, I want to budget my month, but I also want to review the budget mid-month. I budgeted in January, but I didn't really keep up with the budget, so what's the point of it then? Like, I didn't really adjust my spending mid-month. So I want to review the budget mid-month and adjust it. And then I do need to pay tuition in February as well. Fun. For Atlas Teaching website goals, I want to post 4 posts in February, and I also want to schedule March's posts. And I really do want to focus on that because March is going to be very busy with starting school again. I do want to finish the SEO course, get Google ads set up. I do want to learn about Pinterest and get 600 views on the website. For Atlas Teaching YouTube, I want to post 4 long form videos, but also post some bonus videos as well. If I'm enjoying it, if I have a fun idea, I would be so excited if we got to 100 subscribers. I would lose my mind. I would be so excited. That would be crazy. I, again, want to have that big YouTuber energy, just enjoy it, be confident, have fun. And I want to learn a little bit more about optimizing for keywords with TubeBuddy. For my PhD goals, I want to schedule specific work times. I want to keep an I got this attitude because these 2 classes that I'm doing right now are very, very, very difficult, and I want to be a little bit more confident. I can definitely do this. I just don't want imposter syndrome, fear, insecurity to reach in. I can definitely do this. I just need to be confident about it. I do need to figure out my class schedule. I found out some information this week that changed things, and I just need to figure that out. I do need to be considering topics for my dissertation now. I just had a meeting this week and they told me that I need to be getting on that. And perhaps register for summer classes. It might open in February, so question mark. And then finally, for my work goals, I will be starting work again at the end of the month. So I need to get my work schedule, my class schedule. I need to request the rosters, make name lists, make attendance sheets, make grading documents, confirm textbooks, maybe order a student copy of the textbook, and then make the first week of class PowerPoints. So it's a lot of that admin work at the very beginning of the school semester. So those are my February goals. Hopefully I can continue the habits that I built in January and bring them into February. So I'm going to end the video here because I think it's been a bit of a chatty vlog, but I hope this was inspiring. Whenever I watch these videos, I always feel so inspired to go make my own goals and go focus on my own goals, because even if someone else's goals are totally different from mine, I still find it interesting and inspiring to hear about other people going after the life that they want. So I'm very excited for February. I hope that it will be still productive, but also very peaceful and restorative before spring comes and before the weather warms up and before we all go back to work and all of those things. But that's all for today. I will see you next time. I hope we all have a lovely February. Bye.